This place is great, really comfortable. I'm just gonna get settled in. Time to move on. Get on with my life. Yes, absolutely. Now, like I said, it was a long time ago. Let it go. Seriously. Definitely more my style than Panama, or Hoboken, I guess. No, if I'm honest, I just got kind of bored of boozing. I mean, once in a while, but not all the time. You're right, it wasn't doing me any favors. Maybe I'd lost my self-respect, but it's back. I'm excited, really. I really needed a new start. I think you're right. I think I am gonna like it here. It certainly ain't New Jersey. It's my new life. Just like you said. Listen, if you think I can still do a job, what have I got to lose? Apart from the weight. Very funny. Ha ha. Yes, that is a fake laugh, you jerk. So I guess I'd become what they wanted me to be. A killer. Some rent-a-clown with a gun who puts holes in other bad guys. Well, that's what they had paid for, so in the end, that's what they got. Say what you want about Americans, but we understand capitalism. You buy yourself a product and you get what you pay for. And these chumps had paid for some angry gringo without the sensibilities to know right from wrong. Here I was, about to execute this poor bastard like some dime store angel of death. And I realized they were correct. I wouldn't know right from wrong if one of them was helping the poor and the other was banging my sister. I'd arrived in Sao Paulo a few weeks before. I was working a protection detail for the kind of people who need protection in a town like this. And what kind of town was this? One where I didn't speak the language and they didn't water down their drinks. So for now, we seemed to get along just fine. Of course, that was about to change.
Hey, brother.
Hey.
How's the cocktail?
Scotch. I never mix my drinks.
Yeah, at least not on duty.
Something like that.
Man, that favela is big.
Yep. Nothing like the view of extreme poverty to make a penthouse cocktail party really swing.
I guess they call it trickle-down economics.
That's funny.
It's supposed to be a charity thing. Drink and give money. I don't know, something for the kids. Hey, listen, man. We better look lively. This place is a nightmare. They just got cowboys running security downstairs, and something rotten in the air.
That didn't mean much. There was always something rotten in the air. The family we were protecting were local celebrities, rich parasites with delusions of humanity. The kind of people who end up in glossy magazines or body bags, depending on how their luck runs. So where are they all? I see Rodrigo over there talking to that guy.
Yeah, I don't know him. That guy next to him, he's some kind of cop. I'm not sure. Serious, though. Big end cop, anti-gang sort of thing. I can't remember his name.
So who's this guy?
That guy's a plastic surgeon or some kind of surgeon. Tummy tucks and cock implants. Look at Marcel. Still dances like a fool.
Guess that's what a European education and a coke habit will do for Ricky Martin look-alike.
That's very funny, Max. Oh, excuse me.
I was mostly working for Rodrigo Branco, a local businessman. Built things, did some charity, had things named after him, won awards, owned things, people. One of the trophies he had won was his wife, Fabiana. She was hot and wanted to be dangerous. Some good genes trying to fight their way out of a cesspit. She'd married well and was now at leisure to regret her good fortune. They got along as well as any rich workaholic and his younger airhead wife tend to get along. They mostly ignored each other. She spent a lot of time with his cokehead younger brother, Marcello. He was a good-time guy if your idea of a good time was an expensive suit, a bottle of champagne, and nothing between the ears. The middle brother, Victor, had just walked in. He was a local politician. Guy was smoother than an oil slick on an iceberg and about as toxic. The rest of the crowd, I didn't know, but I could imagine the types. People who know if they drink enough, they won't have to feel guilty about their good fortune. Suddenly, things turned real ugly. Felt like our hangovers arrived right on cue.
That? I don't know what the fuck that was. Let's go.
Things had gone from fine to fucked up in about a second, and now there were two idiots at the wheel.
Clear. You got this floor?
Sure.
Look after yourself, bro. Stay safe.
It wasn't my own safety I was concerned about, trophy wife or not. I'd said I would protect the girl.
Geez, you have no idea how long I was loading that in. Anyways, hello there everybody, this is Norris, and this is going to be my new project for however long it takes me to do this. This is Max Payne 3. Yay. So, planning on doing an entire playthrough, not entirely sure how this will work out. Just sort of gonna play through this game, just, you know,
That was the boss lady.
kind of the point of a Let's Play, not entirely sure why I'd say that. But that was the introduction, and I'm sure if you've seen my Let's Plays in the past, you know I don't like to talk over the introduction or
It wasn't the time, and I was still a little rusty.
dialogue and all that sort of stuff, but if I do, I put on subtitles just in case, that way you can still see what the story is about.
New start of mine was about to come to a shuddering halt.
So yes, I guess this will be my first full-blown Let's Play on the PC. I was planning on doing one for the Mass Effect series, still planning on doing that, but some things have come up and sort of decided to not do it for now, maybe a little bit later. But something of interest about this game is the fact that there are actually quite a lot of nooks and crannies to the level design in which you can find things like golden gun pieces and clues, such as that newspaper or whatever. And yeah, if you played the confusing that with Mass Effect, but if you played the Max Payne series before, then you know what this is like. It's an over-the-shoulder, well, not really over-the-shoulder, but a third-person shooter, and there are actually quite a lot of acrobatic elements to it, at least with Max. You can leap around all over the place and enter a slow-motion thing called bullet time and all that stuff, and that'll make it easier to aim and all that stuff. But yeah, this is a very action hero styled video game in which it's basically you just shooting like a lot of people, going up against like 20 guys at once and just blowing them all away. That's generally what this game is about, and doing it in a very action-y sort of thing. Yeah. Sorry if I'm gonna cough a lot or just generally be nasally and all that stuff, or just be weird and make a lot of weird noises. I'm just coming over a cold, so there's a lot of phlegm buildup in the throat and all that stuff, so that's not fun to deal with. And hopefully I got these audio settings down to where you can still make out what I'm saying even in the most action-packed settings. I don't know, with the way this recorder works, it picks up my voice at the same time as the video, which can be helpful, but it can also be hurtful because I can't adjust my voice according to the game separately. So there can be times where the game might drown out my voice a little bit. I have the volume almost muted on this thing. This is the lowest it can go, and when I saw the playback, it would still drown out my voice, so, you know, that's always fun to deal with. But anyways, yeah, hopefully it isn't anything too bad now, and hopefully you can still make out what I'm saying. I mean, with the way I have things set up now, I can barely hear what's going on in the game. But I know that with the way things are going to go, that's not going to be the case for you. You're definitely going to be able to hear what's going on with the game, because I'm going to have to buff up the volume just a little bit just to make sure that, you know, it isn't too ridiculously quiet to where it feels like you can't hear anything. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, it's not too loud to where it drowns out my voice, but not too quiet to where you feel like you can't hear anything. It's really hard to find that perfect balance with games like these, especially when you don't have too many options when it comes to adjusting the audio. I mean, you can reduce it just fine, but there aren't really too many options when it comes to just how quiet you'd like to get it. I mean, there are basically just like 10 different little audio settings. Gave him a hug as I shot him in the face. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, very action-y, sort of acrobatic like moments and all that. You can also use cover if you'd like. I tend not to do that, not because it's a bad cover system, but because I think it's just glitched out for me. And that if I try to adjust positions while in cover, I'll do this thing where Max is sort of freaking out, having a spasm attack, and I can't move at all. I can't move, I can't shoot, I can't do anything until some guy eventually decides to down me and I have to pop him in the head to pick myself back up, which can be frustrating. So probably not going to be using the cover too much, which means I'm going to be trying to abuse the acrobatic system in which I jump around a lot to make myself harder to hit. To be honest, I would have preferred it if I could use the cover, because if I could, then I probably won't go down as much. You know, it's because of this glitch that I'm probably just going to end up dying a lot. So that's something to look forward to, I suppose. Alright, let's just get this guy, get that guy, leap out. It's okay if you don't kill them, because if you hit them, then they'll sort of, you know, sort of blip, 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 ragdoll a little bit to where they aren't going to really be shooting you, unless they happen to hold down the trigger and they just get lucky with the aim. Because there have been times where, yeah, where you will shoot them and they will just start lighting you up while they're ragdolling all over the place. It has happened before, and it is incredibly annoying. I am not gonna lie. I already get the feeling that I missed a golden gun piece, but I'm not too fussed about that. Really, they're just a cosmetic change, and if you get all of them in the game, then you can get a cheat or something whenever you play through this. Really, it's more about picking up clues and all that stuff in this, because then it helps you piece together what's happening in the story. Hence why they're called clues.
Rattling with gunfire. Was I too late?
This game tends to have quite a bit of in-game dialogue, so it might be a little bit difficult to do a let's play of, at least in the normal sense. You see, the way that the health system works is that, you know, you have your outline on the bottom right, and once that starts filling up with the red, that means that you're getting closer and closer to dying. But you also get pain pills, and pain pills basically reduce the red, like it drops it down. But there's another thing about it, to where if it completely fills up and you were normally supposed to die, if you have pills, then instead you'll just drop into a sort of last stand sort of position, to where if you shoot the guy who downed you, you will pick yourself back up and keep going. But that only works if you have pills. If you don't have pills, then you just flat out die. I also think if you get hit in the head for the final blow, then that will just flat out kill you too. So it's not like you suddenly become invincible the second you have pills. You still have to be a little bit careful with it. Granted, I can't really stand to be careful because, as I said, I have the cover glitch, which means if I'm in cover, a lot of the times I'll just freeze and I'll just end up having to wait until someone puts me in that down position anyways, which, you know, fun to deal with. And like that, I think we completed the first chapter. Granted, I think most of it was spent watching the introduction cutscene and all that stuff and the setup and everything for this. But, yeah. I think I'm going to do this to where each video is a chapter. Maybe. I don't know. These chapters can be a little bit lengthy depending on how things go, so if it eventually gets to be too lengthy, I might just split them up into like 30-minute parts. But anyways, that's what I'm aiming for. One chapter per video. Hopefully I can get through it at a fast enough pace to where I can keep that sort of thing going. And oh wow, my frame rate just tanked there. I guess it's because it's loading all of the new people and all that stuff, but geez, that is bad. Wow. I have no clue what's causing that. It definitely shouldn't be this bad. What the heck? That is awful.
Different branch of the police, not UFE, but normal cops. I don't know about this stuff, politics. Everywhere politics.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are definitely a lot of camera effects and all that during the cutscenes. They can be a little bit annoying at times. They tend to overdo them from time to time, so yeah, that's something to watch out for. And my god, what the heck is tanking my frame rate? Jeez. I mean, really? There's no reason for this. I can understand it loading all of the different people and all that stuff, but wow. And like that, it's back up to the 60 frames per second. What was causing that? Well, hopefully it's not too much of an eyesore on you guys. I mean, I kind of wanted to make sure that I could at least keep a decent, at least a decent 25 frames per second, since, you know, that's usually the frame rate that YouTube videos tend to have. At least I think that's what the overall frame rate is. I'm actually trying to record this at 30 frames per second. There's no point in going for the 60. It's not going to smooth things out at all for when I upload it, because like I said, the max frame rate that YouTube videos will play at is 25. Although why it's recording these cutscenes at 60 frames per second, I won't know. But anyways, yes, that was chapter 1, and yeah,
Couple of days
hope you
later,
guys enjoyed
he
it,
was back to
and
work,
I will see
ferrying
you
the
later.
boss's broad and his dipshit of a brother out for the night so they could recover from their brush with mortality.